Ron Ritchie, the people's champion, as he's known, is back in the territory. Out of Winnipeg, Manitoba, 240 pounds. He's in the ring against Goldie Rogers at 223. Hollywood, California. This is one fall with a 20-minute time limit. We're at the very beginning of the match. Now, as per usual, Rogers goes into this routine. He looks like he's afraid to undress.
Well, he's taking his time. He does everything nice and slowly, but it always pays off. Goldie's a veteran, but his opponent tonight, nobody knows Ron Ritchie better than I do. Ron Ritchie's an outstanding athlete in professional wrestling. He was one of the best. And I don't think he's lost any of his touch, but we'll see how he does against a veteran Goldie Rogers. If he should happen to beat Goldie Rogers, then I might change my mind and say he's still one of the best.
Well, I'll be mightily surprised if he does not derail Goldie Rogers. Good arm drag. Look at the agility is still there. He's starting quickly.
He certainly built himself up, you know. He's about 10 pounds heavier than I saw him 2 or 3 years ago over in Japan when he was tearing that place apart. But he's about 10 pounds heavier, and it's going to be to his advantage. I thought he was a little light the last time I saw him, but I think the 10 pounds is going to help him out quite a bit, Ed.
Jürgen Hermann is the third man in the ring. Ritchie's got quite a record here. I'll tell you about that in a moment. I might also note the British Bulldogs are on a triumphant tour of Japan right now. They are idols in Japan. Idols.
Yeah. You told me before the show started on the way that you got the big report out of Tokyo, Japan, that they won their first 3 or 4 big matches and they were looking great. There's no question in my mind that they would probably tear the Japanese apart. But I'll tell you, the Japanese are not the same as Maka Singh and Vocal Singh. These people here now have got the title, and for them to get back in, they got to beat somebody with a big name. And I'm not talking about Japanese wrestlers. I'm talking about American in the world.
Let's talk about the Power Twins who are coming to this territory. They're both 6'2", 275. Good shoulder block there by Rogers. Oh, hip toss, then the drag, and down he goes. The Power Twins have been trained by Dr. D. David Schultz, and they're the first identical twin combinations since Billy and Benny McGuire, who weighed 1,500 pounds. They were great, huge men, and the combination of Pat and Mike Kelly. Of course, Benny McGuire died in 1982. Mike Kelly was killed last summer in a serious auto accident.
Well, you know, when you're talking about the Power Twins, yeah, here's a team, 275, 280 pounds apiece. Here's the team I'd like to see meet the British Bulldogs. Then if the British Bulldogs can get a big win over the Power Twins, never mind going over the Japanese and beating all those slouches. Come back here. There's talent right here, and there's people that are looking for the British Bulldogs. And getting back to this Ron Ritchie, for the first 3 or 4 minutes, he's just looking great to me.
Ron Ritchie of Winnipeg, the people's champion from yesteryear, against Goldie Rogers of Hollywood, California. We're nearing the 5-minute mark. Ritchie, in the past, enjoyed great success in this ring. In 1986, he captured the North American heavyweight title from a fellow named Brown. This was Kerry Brown. And he also won the International Tag Team title with Leo Burke from Honky Tonk Wayne and Ron Starr. So Ritchie has defeated some formidable men, and right now he's doing a formidable job on Goldie Rogers.
You know, he's just coming back from a wild world tour of of overseas, and they tell me he looked great over there. I imagine he was over in Japan because he looks like he ate a little bit too much rice, and is where he put on the 10 extra pounds. But the guy has looked just tremendously, Ed, and all I can tell you is I'm sure there's big things in line for Mr. Ron Ritchie. That don't come from me too often.
That doesn't, yeah, I'm a little shocked. Ritchie checking in at 240. I agree, last time we saw him, he was barely hanging around the 230 mark, but that was a couple of years ago. Jürgen Hermann eyes the proceedings.
Don't count this Goldie out, you know. This Goldie's a little sneak. I tell you, he knows how to cut corners. He cuts them like I used to cut them in the ring to survive. You know, you got to cut a corner to win once in a while, Ed. You know that, don't you?
Well, as long as it's within the rule book, but I don't think you ever read one, did you? I've watched some of your bouts from yesteryear and was unimpressed with your techniques. They were not Marquis of Queensberry.
You certainly were impressed a couple weeks ago when you did Trans-Canada Network with me in a match. Wait till the people see that. They'll know what Bulldog's all about.
Yep. Goldie Rogers, Ron Ritchie. Ritchie expressing delight to be back in this territory. And when the match began, he got a tremendous ovation from this crowd. They like him. It may appear once in a while that Goldie Rogers' dipstick doesn't touch oil, but he's a wily character. You've got to give him credit for that. There's the hip toss, and he's giving Ritchie everything he can handle. There's a 2 count. Close call.
We'll get back to the match, Ed. You know, you take Goldie Rogers now. A lot of people don't understand this situation. But, you know, Goldie Rogers knows that he's got Ron Ritchie in trouble. So he's going to take an advantage of it. And the way to take advantage is get a hold and punish him with that hold.
Ritchie elbows his way out, and then, speaking of the elbow, runs into one on the jaw. Ritchie a little shaken up by this guy.
Not just a little bit, a lot.
Think it's over?
Oh, no. Far from being over.
Oh, really? That's a surprise from you. Here comes Ritchie. He's got a real temper. Boy, and I'll tell you, if he gets his dander up, can be an atomic explosion in that squared circle. There's the hip tie. You see what I mean? Right on cue.
What do we got, a loose lion in the arena?
He can get very hostile. Beautiful suplex. Crowd says, yeah, go get him. Ritchie looking very confident now. He's going up onto the flight path.
I think he should be disqualified right now. I think nobody should be allowed to jump off the top rope.
There it was. There it was. A little Aunt Jemima job of Goldie Rogers.
Even coming off the top rope to beat the great Goldie Rogers, I thought that Ron Ritchie was very impressive.
I got to ask you something. You said he shouldn't come off the top rope, yet you applauded a match ago when Jerry Morrow came off the top rope.
Well, he
illegally.
He came off the second rope.
Oh, come on now. Come on.